Hey, this is Luke. Welcome to Lure It Up Podcast. Powered by Pic-O-De Magazine. We'll be interviewing local creators who work in and around the clock for the crop over season and beyond. Join us on this journey as we go behind the scenes of what makes crop over, crop over.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of the Lure It Up Podcast, powered by Pic-O-De Magazine, recorded and produced by Robbie at Nameless Productions. On tonight's podcast, we'll be featuring Quon, the 2022 Pic-O-De-Crop monarch, and writer Cheyne Jones from the Water Street Boyz. We hope you enjoy! Pic-O-De. Okay, guys, so we are here with Quon. Hi, Quon, what's up?
Hello.
Yeah, so I'm so excited about this episode because it's all about taking us back to Crop Over 2022 and just reliving the memories of our culture through music. And me and Luke had this conversation about, what would be the first thing that we will talk about. And it's so interesting to see that there is a young, fresh, new Calypso monarch of 2022, Quon. So first of all, congratulations. Woo!
Thank you.
Cheers.
I feel pleasure to be here to know that you guys chose me.
Yes, we were so excited and we were so happy to share this moment again and relive this, new time to be happy about, Calypso.
For sure.
So good.
For sure.
Okay, so my first question to you is, if reincarnation was a thing, don't make me human again. I want to be free. Mm-hmm. What does freedom mean to you?
When I think about it, for me, freedom is anything. And I mean, I had a performance the other day and...
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, if you're listening to this podcast, that quotation is from his winning song, Animal Kingdom.
That's right. So for me, being free is free in any way. However you want to put it, free financially, free in when it comes to health. Anyway, as long as if reincarnation is a thing, I just want to be free. I don't want to be caught up with the ills of the human being. That's what it's saying,
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
And I literally just watched your performance for the winning Animal Kingdom. Yeah. And to me, you're giving me this shy demeanor here, but you are so free on stage. Performance quality is on point. Your diction and everything is clear. And obviously, this would have come from being in the Junior Monarch.
Of course.
So give me, your journey on how that started. First of all, give me your journey on music and then going into the Junior Monarch and then hopping over to Pic-O-De-Crop and just snatching the crown from everybody. Yeah, give me your little story.
Well, being on stage and performing, that's my happy place. I think that's where I'm most comfortable. So that's why, I could be here talking to you now and then a whole different persona wants to hit the stage. It really started, I can't say there was an exact date. I just always had a knack for performing. And my dad, he used to do a bit of singing himself. So, I would just be at home and I would obviously hear him singing. And he used to sing Calypso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's your dad?
His name is Brian King. He didn't do too well.
Okay. Shoot, Daddy. Okay, but you just, taking the baton.
Exactly. So I don't know what Daddy would have hoped to do in his time. So I would be singing at home, and we had some songs that I would always be listening to, and he had a low microphone, and Daddy, come watch me sing, And that was just, where it started. I always think back and realize, that's where I really started honing my skills as a performer. And my mom, she enjoyed going to the Junior Calypso Monarch competition. And, so I would go and I don't know, there was just always something about Calypso, the fierce rivalry that, used to go on at Junior Monarch. And it was just amazing to me. And I just knew that, I wanted to compete on this stage. Mm-hmm. I think the first time I entered, I was maybe about 9 or 10.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, so I was quite young. And
you must have like a little baby voice.
And let me tell you, I could not sing to save my life.
Oh, shoot. But once it's cute, you get away with everything.
But they ain't let me get away with it. Because I didn't manage to make it past the preliminary stage. And that was really my fate for a number of years, up until 2018 when I won. Oh. Yeah, that was the first time that I actually made it past the preliminary stage.
And then win.
And then win. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
so
a testament
that's
there.
Why, exactly. And that really was the name of the song, Why I Sing. And that song was pretty much my Junior Monarch journey. It was just testament of, everything that I would have gone through. And the opening line said, 6 years of trying to make a mark in Calypso, 6 years of knocking on the door. And, that tells you the length of time that, I would have been trying. And, it speaks about being determined.
And resilient.
Exactly. Yes. A high level of resilience
at
for
such a young age as well.
Exactly.
Because, being young and being in the entertainment industry is not easy. And getting a lot of no's, because I'm a dancer, and if you go to auditions and if you perform and you get a no, it just feels like, like my best is not good enough.
That rejection every year for sure. It was real hard. And so many years I cried when, because you put your all into something and you know that this is what you want to do. And you go and you bring across your song to the judges at the preliminary stage and you waiting for that call, right? That judge call. And it just never come. Exactly what the NCF.
I get you.
And it would never come. And I remember when it finally came in 2018, I literally ran up and down.
Yeah, like this is your moment and you take it.
Exactly.
Love it. Well, as we explained, I believe you're one of the youngest Pic-O-De-Crop kings of Barbados, which is fantastic. But my real question to you is, Calypso and social commentary is seen as a older kind of genre of music that tells stories about socio-economic discrepancies in society.
Correct.
And what made you feel comfortable or make it okay or make it cool to be still in the social commentary genre of music?
Well, I never felt, like there was any kind of pressure when it comes to singing social commentary. That's what I like to do. However, sometimes my friends, but as I begin to listen to social commentary, they get a knack for it and they understand it a lot more. And I remember some of my friends one of my friends who went to Pic-O-De-Crop this year, and he's forever singing the lines, because when you listen to social commentary, it makes you understand and realize so many things.
Yeah.
And
through music.
Through music, exactly. Yeah. And one of the lines through one of these songs is that it was bashing the government.
Okay.
And it was saying that Grainer, he can't eat the highway. Give him the same money, I think, as one of the other, I think it might have been Red Plastic Bike. Give him the same money as Red Plastic Bike because he can't eat the highway, right?
Oh,
and he understood what that meant, that, there's an equality on that level in terms of what they're receiving.
Yeah.
Again, I never felt pressured into singing Calypso as if, like, I'm being judged because I'm a Calypsonian and, all my other friends are into, soca. This year, especially in the Pic-O-De-Crop competition, we saw a lot more youngsters within the finals. And I think every single person, I think we all are in our 20s.
Really?
Yeah, I think, the youngest would have been Renan. I think he maybe is 19 or so. But we all came through the Scotiabank Junior Minor competition. And for me, that's really commendable. I think that we all, brought a new vibe and a new look to the Pic-O-De-Crop competition. So,
I think it's also a testament, again, coming from the perspective of the dancer and seeing the production from the back end. I believe that the team that you guys have, like the writers, your family, your friends, you guys are really close-knit and really push. Like when you come out to a social commentary or a Pic-O-De-Crop or the tents, because they used to dance in tent, that is a whole situation. People come out as groups, bring feather banners and everything just to support. And I think the support in that genre of music is so big that every year is literally like a driving force for the next year. It's let me see what you can come with this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. People have been saying that social commentary and the Pic-O-De-Crop competition is dying and so on, but I don't believe that at all. It's growing for me. That's the honest truth. I love where it's going.
Fantastic. And I love that because this is a perfect way to end is, you love where it's going, but where do you want it to go for you?
I just see it, for me, it's always a platform. And I use this year as a platform to become a larger artist. Obviously, I'm trying to, branch into the soca aspect now. Because if you're being honest, that's where you're most recognizable as an artist. Don't get me wrong, it's very easy to make a living through social commentary. But I want to be an all-around artist. I think if you look at the greats, even Red Plastic Bike, he has dominated social commentary for many years. He also, sings soca. Gabby, although he is a social commentary person, he has a lot more up-tempo hits, from back in the day that would make you party and that kind of thing. Dr. Casada is a perfect example.
Yeah.
So for me, it's important to, tap into that party vibe now. And that's what we're trying to do this year.
I heard the other song. I can't remember.
Judge Me.
Judge Me.
Yeah, that was written by Sadis. For me, that was a good start, you know. That got me into the soca groove.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not even waiting until next year. I have a studio session tomorrow with Pull Trigger Boom.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So we're working on a track right now. I got a track from Shaft as well in Trinidad. So within the next couple of months, obviously leading up to the Trinidad Carnival, we're going to be releasing some tracks and, you know.
But before we go, though, what is it like to work with the Water Street Boyz?
Oh, how
Cheyne Jones and Ian Webster.
It has been absolutely amazing. And I started working with them in 2017. We had a song entitled Performance. That was my first ever song. And I guess the song really came from Cheyne and Iweb seeing that I'm really a performer and you know, how dynamic I am on stage. And so for me, that song was an excellent song. I think that's the year that I really, really, really felt as though I should have, you know, made it to the semi-final stage and the Monarch. Unfortunately, I didn't. I can't remember. I think I messed up or something like that. I think I went off key in the last verse or something like that at preliminary. Something happened along those lines, and I mean, it was really, really devastating. But you know, that was in 2017. And then in 2018, they wrote Why I Sing. And for me, Cheyne and Iweb, they are true mentors. And I mean...
Love that.
Yes. When I think back, you know, I'm forever in debt to both of them because I remember Iweb, at that time, he was teaching at Spring Memorial and so many evenings, you know, we would go down. He would call me down and he would just guide me through performing and, you know, understanding the song and, you know, being on stage and that kind of thing.
And when you like down a Pic-O, how you hold it back, how you perform it.
It's funny because that year we had a finals verse. I remember he showed me, listen, when you're going into this last verse now, you gotta get serious now so you can, you know, you can be out right now and you can step forward. And, yeah, man. And it was absolutely life-changing for me because he was one of my idols to say in Calypso. I mean, he's an absolutely amazing Calypsonian, and you know, I always used
and he has that bravado that you always should walk with.
Yeah, for sure. So you know, I always used to watch Iweb on stage, and Cheyne. I mean, a giant of a man, honestly, because every single rehearsal guarantee that Cheyne is going to be there.
Fantastic. I know that. I know that for sure.
It's amazing, man. So
I love that. Well, congratulations again. This was a great discussion. We'll see you next year to snatch another car, another crown, invest in the crop over industry. Definitely. And also maybe take it another step. And it's all about social and political issues and how you want to bring that across. So yeah, maybe take it to social media and tell people, you know, this is what the song is really about. And as a man, this is how I, want to push it. True. But thank you again, Quon. This is fantastic. Yeah. See ya.
Welcome to Lures Up Podcast with Basil D Magazine.
Okay, so I just had an amazing discussion with Quon. And, you know, behind every artist, you know, they say behind every queen, there's a king. Or behind every king, there's a queen. But behind every artist is an amazing manager, songwriter, supporter. And he literally just big you up so much. You didn't hear it, but he just like pour his heart out to you in here. So we have the one and only newsman. Cheyne Jones is here to just give us the back end of Quon and social commentary and Calypso and Crop Over 2022. So before we go into all of that, just give me... Actually, you know what? Let me ask you the same question I asked Quon. If reincarnation was a thing, don't make me human again. I just want to be free. What does freedom mean to you?
Whoa, freedom. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. This is great content for our culture. And you guys are doing a good job, and I want you guys to continue. Freedom means it's going to be different things to different people, and it's going to be different things to the same person at different stages of their life, you know? So when you make that call for saying, I just want to be free, everyone is going to hear that and they're going to feel something different. So I wouldn't want to put that down to any particular thing because it's going to touch different people in many
I want to know what it means
ways.
To you.
Freedom.
Yes, whatever freedom means to you.
For me, freedom would mean being able to get up day in and day out and do what I love. every single day the way I want to do it. I'm happy, but I'm not totally free because there's some things that you still have to get up and go to work, and you wish you just were going to the beach on that day.
Listen.
You know, and you're dictating your own pace. So I would not say totally free. So that's what freedom would be for me, getting up and doing what I want to do on my own terms every single day.
Fantastic. And I think in this song, it was really playing on the whole notion of the animal kingdom and the ecosystem of society and how, you know, we played out COVID.
Yeah.
How COVID was and how the role switched.
Yeah.
The ant became the lion and the lion became the ant.
It's
you know, and that was such an interesting metaphor for life. To see who really is the big dogs. Yeah, so give me your favorite events for Crop Over 2022.
My favorite events?
Yeah.
So my favorite event is Pic-O-De-Crop. I have not partied like that in a little while. I don't want to say,
you know, because the Pan Fusion was bomb
it was fantastic. So I went to all the tents. I went to Pic-O-De-Crop. You know, I went to the launch of the NCF. I gravitate towards events that I can feel a lot of culture in, and I can feel a lot of Bajan in it. You know, I went to the Soca Ruction because I know there've been a lot of local artists and that kind of thing. So I really, really love the culture. So those types of events, I would say the Pic-O-De-Crop Finals was my favorite event for the season.
Fantastic. Mine was, I said Pan Fusion, but I think it was another name. Pandemonium.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, that was it. And as a dancer, you know, I view performance and stage different. And as just like you, I love anything that feels like culture, that feels like rhythm and movement and anything like that. So let's take it back a little bit. I know that I would say you're a linguist, I would say you're an educated man, but what really got you into writing?
Songwriting. Okay. So I was Calypso tick, a social commentary tick from school days. So during the summer vacation, I was normally playing cricket for Combermere, and the Pic-O-De-Crop finals rehearsals are at Combermere.
Oh, really?
So,
the rehearsal.
Yeah, the rehearsal. Yeah. So I would be pimping out there as a youngster, you know, listening to and you know, you see Bag and you see Gabby and you see these guys and you're listening. And I remember late Sudan, I would sit in the back of rehearsals with him, you know, and he would give me a little nudge. You understand what I mean there? You understand that line? So then maybe in my late teens and early 20s, I wrote more poetry. I used to write poetry before.
Okay.
Right? But it wasn't anything that I would do. And, you know, when that's our age in the social media, it wasn't posting it anywhere, you know? And,
so, you got a book and a pen.
Yeah, exactly. And there's not nothing, you know, you go in and say, look at this poetry that he wrote, right? You know? We ain't grew up so.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
To be honest, you know, and I'm glad the world is changing and we're able to see
archive of things that
and the artsy part, the artistic side of especially males, you know, we can see it on a huge stage, and there's nothing wrong with writing poetry as a young boy and, you know, saying this is something that I love. It was different in the mid 90s, right?
So 2000s. And rap and stuff was more popular.
Yeah. So I would write poetry. And then Ian Webster, who I went to primary school with, Christchurch Boys, which is on Water Street.
I was gonna get there, but we got there.
The older people in the community would say Water Street Boys instead of Christchurch Boys, which is now Milton Lynch. So Ian Webster won the crown in 2013. He went to primary school with me, and I remember I saw him in Sheraton because I said I write poetry. I love calypso. I saw him in Sheraton, and, you know, I congratulated him, and I said, you know, I do a little thing. I write a little, you know, I write a thing. He said, man, he gave me his email address, and he said, send me something you have. And I remember I sent him something, and he was like, listen, you are wasting your talent. And he's like, I want you to work with me.
I can hear Ian voice saying that, you know, he's not.
And I want you to work with me.
Yeah.
My music for next year to defend my crown. I'm like, what? To defend?
And then he's a little fish, he's a big fish.
And then we worked together, and that's when he had, people call it Barbados is Still My Home, Still My Home.
Oh my gosh,
yes,
that song gives me goosebumps.
It was our first song together.
Wow.
And he won the crown again.
I think I danced for that one.
Yes, you did. You did.
Such a good song.
I think Aisha did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we've been working ever since. That was 2014.
Yeah. But the same thing that I told Quon, and I think you touched on it a little bit, but social commentary is more about touching on the socio-political, economic injustices in Barbados. And we use music and, you know, the picons and the metaphors and the comedy, the political satire, the comedic satire in the music. And it is not really seen as cool and popular. But as young men, how do you make this fun and cool? And how do you make the younger guys gravitate to something that at the end of the day, you're kind of like queens, though. You're like pageant queens. You want world peace, and you're using this type of music as a world peace. So how do you make this fun for the younger crowd are more palatable for the younger crowd to like?
So the thing about social commentary and calypso, as I said, it deals with a lot of socio-economic things that are going on in the country, but it's also our story. And soca is a subgenre of social commentary. You get a lot of stories in soca as well, but it deals with different parts of our story, right? Which is easier, which is lighter, which stories that
like mobby.
Yeah. You know exactly, right? You don't have to really think about it that much. But when you're dealing with social commentary, because I always say that whenever you listen to a social commentary, if you listen to social commentary 10 years from now, you should listen to that social commentary and you should know what was going on in the country in that time. So it's something it's things that affect all of us. So there are a finite amount of topics that happen throughout the year that you can write about, but it's the angle that you bring it from. So that's going to be different. So when anybody could sing about COVID, anybody could sing about COVID, but then with Animal Kingdom, I'd rather be an animal. And music, wait, what? So you give it a different, you talk about the same things that everyone's going to talk about, but you have to come from a different angle. And when you come from a different angle, then you can reach different demographics. Social commentary has been done, in certain ways for a very, very long time. Certain style, and this is supposed to be said, and that's supposed to be said, and this is the way you say it. And, different people have different voices and different deliveries, but it kind of felt like the same thing. So you got like a crowd that loved social commentary, and people say this is not for me. You look at people like Quon, you look at people like Terry, young people coming in the social commentary, and you start to see younger people come into the tents because this person looks like me. They're saying they have a different delivery, a different style, and we're very excited about that because we have a lot of concepts and a lot of angles within ourselves that we can use these vessels to I don't want to say change social commentary because I want to heads come telling me the ignorance, but have different deliveries and different styles and different offerings, and have the message of a social commentary in different ways for more people to enjoy.
I think what I like about social commentary and the junior monarch going into the Pic-O-De-Crop is that it is a learning process. And I, again, coming from the dancer's perspective and seeing the back end of it, you have the writers, their managers, and parents come into rehearsals with them, going through, I don't know if you guys have a writer's camp or something that NCF puts on for the younger crowd. And so you have a preliminary stage, the semi-final stage, and sometimes when you see the beginning product to the end product, is so gratifying to see how much these people have grown. And then moving from Quon, the junior monarch to the Pic-O-De-Crop, you're like, wow, let me see where this person can really come for this year, it is a continuation of last year, and it grows and it grows and it grows. So I think that's absolutely amazing. What is the process like after writing, going into the studio with Ian?
Going into the studio, Ian. Well, I can say, Ian. So Ian is a music teacher. I've been in the studio very few times with Ian. All I can tell you is that I've been to the studio with most of the artists, because the thing about social commentary is that you have to make sure that they, first of all, understand what they're singing about.
Right.
They can.
That's what I want to know.
They can interpret it. And then they can deliver and communicate that message so it's heard and understood. Sometimes you have artists that sing a song and it doesn't get off the stage. People don't get into the message.
I might understand the metaphor that they're playing on.
Exactly, because there's so much with social commentary. So Quon would tell you, I was almost at every rehearsal.
He did say that.
Exactly, and I'm doing it with the artists because you got certain punchlines. You have to the people have to be there with you when you set up these songs so people understand. Okay, so this is what this is about. You have to deliver that in a way so you set that playing field. People,
especially for the last verse.
The Pic-O verse. Exactly. So then you need to know how to lead into it. Simple things that a lot of artists don't know. Some artists, they say thank you very quickly and go off of the stage, and they don't let the song come to an end. So you say thank you and go off the stage, and people start clapping, the music still playing, and then when the last note is struck, there's just silence. Saying that really feels so good. You enjoy the song, you enjoy with the people. Just certain little things, and it's a joy because I love it and because it was a tick so much. So it's a joy to go through the entire process with everyone.
With the animal kingdom, of course, we touched on COVID, but before that, what really inspired you to write about certain issues? Like sometimes you might feel this issue, maybe your inspiration came in January and by July, it really dying down. Like what really like motivates you, or what is the inspiration from certain songs that you write? For me, Still My Home feels like the national pledge.
Yeah, Still My Home was just it was just a feeling, you know. That was 2014.
No, I think that's 2015. No, but you would know.
Yeah, Still My Home was 2014. So there was an election in 2013 that was narrowly won.
Okay.
So the country was very divided.
Yes.
I think it was 16-14 or something like that.
Yeah.
The country was divided. People from the party who didn't win would start talking about, I can leave Barbados. This is foolishness. I can't believe this happened. And so there was a feeling of, oh my goodness, Barbadians are tearing Barbados apart from the inside, you know? And it was like, but this is where we live. This is still our home.
Yeah.
You know, it was like a feeling. You know, Barbadians were taking to social media to say the worst things about Barbados, just because, you know,
even bitches from overseas.
Exactly. So it was like, but this is still our home. We felt very, very strongly about that. You know, very, very. And that song started, "The country is comatose, fighting to live again."
It started with the heartbeat, you know, and I really pull on your heartstrings.
That was Nicholas Branker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rounding it off for me though, you guys did an amazing job for the season, and you captured at least 4 or 5 artists in the finals. Five artists. How is it to have so many artists dividing your time, five different places, rooting for 5 different people, having 2 people in the top 2? Like, how does that feel? What does that look like?
Yeah, that was very hard.
Okay.
Be very honest with you, because when it gets to, you know, competition mode, then I would take on more of it because when Ian is competing.
Right. Yeah.
So, well, one thing I must say that Ian, we had a conversation this year, and he's extremely professional, and I was like, Ian, we are both in our 30s. If we continue writing, Gabby and Invade and them still writing, if we continue writing 40 more years, there will be many times that people will beat you with songs that you've written. So you have to make a decision. You know, we going this hard. We can't be having people in the final and sharking with somebody else or what's not. And he was like, no, professionalism, and he was true to that.
Okay.
So, but what I will say is that, so our artist plays first, second, fourth, second last, and last. Okay. So I was very torn, and I remember I had to speak to somebody about it.
That's interesting, though.
And so you want to celebrate the people that did well, but you feel guilty for celebrating while others felt didn't do so well.
Are defeated.
You want to feel bad. You felt bad with the people that didn't do so well, but you don't want to feel ungrateful for the success that you've had. Right. So, you know, it's a thing of being gentle with yourself and understanding that all these things can be true.
Okay.
You can feel good and you can feel bad, and that's fine. The feelings will settle down after a while.
Yeah.
So I you know, it's something that I really thinking about in terms of my mental going forward, because I know
from a mentorship's point of view.
Yeah. And I know that, you know, we want to do more. We want to have even more people in the final. Like we had 4 people in the final in 2019. In 2022, we had 5 people, and people have been telling us it's the most. And I believe so, because it's only since 2019 they had so many people in the finals. It used to be 8 people in the final. So when I had 8 people in the final, I can't imagine a writer would have 5 out of the 8.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's something that we have to look at going forward. And as a dancer, you would understand that, you know, artists, you know, at the end of the day, 7 people will say what they think is good and what they think isn't, and but that's not what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And art is subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Art is subjective. Well, to round it off, this was great. What do you see social commentary being like in 10 years? What does that look like for you?
Oh,
you got a little CJ, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, I really like what we have been doing with Water Street Boyz. And we push the envelope quite a few times, and times it didn't work. I think that people are looking at what we are doing. I don't mind it. Well, if we continue to think of how can we continue to make this appealing for a wider cross section of people, and the calypso, I keep saying I don't want to say change, and the calypso develops into this type of thing where we tell our stories in the most pleasant way possible, the most creative way is possible. We keep trying to keep people on their toes. We're not settling. We write a line and we're saying, how can this be better? We think of a concept and we say, how can this be better? How can this appeal to more people?
How do we leave the audience questioning society, their worth, and also, everything around them?
And give people a show at the final. I always like that show, theater, that kind of thing. I love that.
Drama.
Yeah, exactly. So if we continue along this path, I think more people are going to get involved in social commentary. More young people are going to get involved, and that augurs well for the future and the sustenance of the art form.
Wow, beautiful, great ending. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Great. I love it. All the best to you guys next year. I know Quon told me that you guys are starting to look at, producing stuff for Carnival and stuff. So I wish you the best and a successful 2023 writing, producing, everything.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. This episode was recorded and produced by Robbie at Nameless Productions.
That's Nameless.